Alright, it is 1 o'clock by my count, so I'm gonna go ahead and start going over the itinerary for everything. First off, thank you all for joining me. We're gonna be just covering everything for the month of October and where the community is going and some extra stuff tied to that. So first and foremost, some minor collab changes to note on 3 topics. Number 1, I'm no longer going to be working with BT. That's just because the past 2 months we had duds for various reasons, and I don't want to pursue that anymore. Rather, I'm going to take all the work I have for them because there was still 2 ops on GOS Doraya and then some work on Lingor that was made by Valkyrie, and instead I'm going to keep that aside for another 40k community, probably the 31st, because they're going to start working with me once a month, and I might as hell recycle that work because that took dozens of man hours. So I'll ask about possibly having that as a collab opportunity, but I have to talk with their leadership about that. The second thing, Karma Cut stuff, that'll open up next weekend. There's a bit of a hiatus for various reasons, but I will be looking for Op 4 aggressors there in the future, but we also have another thing coming up for the training block, but I'll talk about that later. And then this month there should be a Saga Op. I will let you guys know when the time comes. That's because Nemesis still hasn't given me a topic on what to make yet, but we have that on the schedule in 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll get there when we get there. But any other collab ops that come up, I'll let you guys know, but again, that'll tie into something else I'll discuss later, so we'll get to that in a moment. Otherwise, little note about the server. Server's getting an upgrade in 3 days on Tuesday. It should be done before the planned tagged up, but if there is a complication, I will let you guys know. But so far, scheduling-wise, that should be fine. Just means we'll just have things change with schedules and whatnot, but I'll talk about that in a second. It was really interesting diagnosing the armor-only op yesterday. I honestly think there is an issue with RHS vehicles and people being in them for an extended period of time that's causing memleak issues. Tracking back the issue to some other armor-only ops I've done, and tracking the fact that there was a major RHS update about 2 weeks before we did the armor-only op way back when for the 73 Eastings back in, 2019 or 2020, it starts to make a little more sense, but we'll be doing another armor op in either 2 or 3 weeks. I'll find some time to run it, but we'll have vanilla assets, and we'll play with that to see if I can pin down the issue from all other possible areas. So I'll keep you guys in the loop there. Quick note about the DayZ server situation. If you weren't reading the announcement, Ghost Wolf has stepped down because he has to focus on IRL stuff. He's in South Africa, and I think that's enough to say because that place is, excuse me. No, I was right, South Africa. So that place is a mess right now with its power grid, if you've been keeping track of world events and the load shedding they're doing, yada-da, but he's got to focus on himself. I will eventually, on my own, get the server back up. However, I'm not going to be able to tackle that for 2 or 3 months because I am too busy focusing on other things at the moment. But once I get all that squared away, I will do my best to tackle it. If anyone wants to step in and take his place, I don't mind helping you and advising you, but I can't fully accept the burden of that work just yet because I have to square things away here, and then I gotta work on some other stuff. But again, I'll get to that later. So that's an open invitation to anyone, but we'll see how things go with that. Now, Zeus program updates. First off, Mac Marine won the poll. Is there anyone here in the meeting? Because as we started in the previous rotation, I picked 3 people from 3 different things. So if there's anyone here that wants to join the Zeus rotation, give me a Z in the chat, and we can do a wheel of names right now and just pick based off of that, because that's how we picked the wild card slot from last time. But if no one here wants it because, you know, you're busy or whatnot, I'm just gonna pick 2 people. Going once, going twice. Okay. King of Dwarves is going to be the second one then, because that's how we did it last time. That's the random pick, but that's also to encourage people to come into here. But all right, third pick is I'm just really curious to see what Metro will do, since he was the second pick in the poll. However, if Sirius listens to this, I want him to sign up for the next one as well if he can do the Saturday slots, because of, I'll get to that in a second, but I'm also curious what he'll do. So to King of Dwarves, Mac Marine, and Metro. I'm going to get you guys tagged. There's a certain channel that's actually right above the Town Hall channel, but I'll discuss what we're doing. I'll get you guys sorted with a mod set by tomorrow afternoon, and we'll get things scheduled for everything. But regardless, Zeus program is going to be twofold now. So for this month, we're going to be basically shooting for the Wednesday slot, and then next month we're going to be shooting for a Saturday morning slot at 11:30, which was the slot that we did the Command and Conquer stuff. And the end goal of the Zeus program is by next year, I will have some of those Zeuses have a backup op, and I'm working on a new plan this month, and I'll have it all in writing by the end of this month. But the end goal of it is, if I need to take a break or do something sporadic that is last minute, like the day of, I can announce it, IRL calls. That's just the world I live in. And then we can have a backup operation ready to go. And if we don't run that operation, we'll just run it at the end of the month so it doesn't go to waste. That way, again, it keeps things fluid because I am but one person, and, well, one person has issues, you know, so that just is redundancy to keep this community going. So if we lose a day, we don't lose the day. We still have something to work with. But that's the end goal of the Zeus program, and I'll work out rules and regulations when we get closer to it. But it'll also just be based off of, did you take your rotation seriously? Did you put good work out? Did people enjoy stuff? Example being, everyone seemed to enjoy Charlotte's Xenonauts, more or less, compared to, you know, other stuff. And I would say it was pretty good quality. There was definitely some custom ideas and whatnot. So, you know, going from there, we'll just see how these rotations go. Because I don't think all of them are going to be that good, but I would love to be proved wrong. Anyway. Quick note on MCO and Checkpoint RP. I've been kicking those cans down the road. I'm going to be honest, it's because stuff keeps coming up IRL, and I just don't have the time to maintain them. My goal this month is to find time to do them, but I've been spending this month focusing a lot on some IRL stuff, and that's probably going to be the main focus for this month. Actually, no, not probably. That is going to be my main focus this month. So, I will do my best to get some concrete times down and get them scheduled. However, I'm only going to do that when I actually start the process of working on them both. And at the moment, it's not feasible to put those on the calendar. So I'll let you guys know, but doing my best here, you know? So I just got to make that all work where I can. Otherwise, again, I'll let you know when we can get those officially scheduled. Next point, you'll notice on the calendar, there are tagged ops. That represents if you have the training tag, which if you go into the training channel, there's a spreadsheet there. If your name has a green box next to it with a number in it, that means you're tagged, that means you're good, that means you can attend. What I'm going to basically tell you right now about the ops is I'm going to grab the people that I originally wanted to bring into Karma Cuts community to fulfill the PvP slots, because it wasn't just PvP, it was also actors, basically roleplay slots, to interact with to make a, you know, a special type of operation. That's kind of fallen through with what Karma's wanted. However, I still think it's a really good idea, and again, it's not direct PvP, it just elevates the operation to have actual civilians behave like civilians, because ARMA AI civs suck, but that's going to be the focus for doing US counterinsurgency-based operations based off of those tagged ops. That's just for the Tuesday slot. There is one that I'll potentially have on a Friday in the evening, because I also want to do a training slot there, but my schedule, again, has been crazy in back and forth, so I don't know what's supposed to be when, but that'll all get ironed out this month. But yeah, at least for the Tuesday tagged ops, that's what we're going for, US coin with some actors. But I will also say this, I'm not going to give anyone here an opportunity to be one of those actors for these next two ops. Because, again, it's just feeling out a new concept to see how things go. These guys already have experience with what I want them to have, or do, excuse me. But again, we'll just build off of things going forward, because I would also like to bring back another try with the SOG ops, with a few PvP slots or some sort of equivalent, but we'll see how things go with that. But just want to let you know how the tagged ops are going to go, and I'll get those scheduled accordingly. A few of you have asked me about Halloween ops. There will be 1 or 2. I will schedule them on the calendar in, I want to say, by Monday. The reason for it is I just haven't been around to tackle them just yet. In fact, this weekend I have to finish up a project for Bohemia, at least a rough draft, and they have very strict guidelines on what I can and can't do with that. But I'm working on it, and I will let you guys know ASAP. But, yeah, we'll have at least 1, maybe 2 operations, just depending on my schedule. A quick note on POG. I'm going to be taking a 4-week hiatus from them, not because of anything against them, but because I need that Thursday slot for getting back into saber fencing. And that's, again, one of the personal things I mentioned earlier of me focusing on myself this month. Next note, other focuses for this month, at least, how would I say this? I'm going to be maintaining everything here, the training program, the Zeus slots, kind of letting things fall in place. But I want to say for the past 5 or 6 months, there's always been something new we've been working on, from the training program to getting a proper schedule with the polls and lining up the op slots, to just adding or subtracting slots as well. There's always been something we focused on here. This is gonna definitely be the first month where I'm not having to focus on that. Instead, I'm gonna be focusing on the main channel. I have a massive amount of editing I need to do. That's full, and that's full. So I need to. I literally am not going to be able to record Monday's ops if I don't start tackling that ASAP, because I've been too busy focusing on other stuff. So I've got a plan in place to work on that, but that's going to be what I'm focusing on this month, if anyone's curious on that. Otherwise, final note I will give for this meeting. Wow, it's only been about 12 minutes. Cool. Great. There's a new channel to solidify everything, commissions channel, basically a little bit of extra work I'm doing on the side to help pay for everything, like mortgages or food or, you know, all the living expenses I have to deal with. So that's in there. My rates will fluctuate based off of supply and demand, but I'm also going to be eliminating... Actually, I already have, for the most part, eliminated all my free work because I need more time, and that time can focus on other things, such as the DayZ server when the time comes, myself, because Lord knows I need it, and just relaxing so I don't burn out, because that's what's that's my #1 issue these days. It's just random periods of burnout and sanity loss, and you know what I mean. But regardless, that's just there because people ask me from time to time, and I've booked a few other things going forward, but now it's all on paper. And that's, again, for Zeus and mission dev and blah, 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 but that is all I got. Now I'm going to open the floor to questions in chat, if there are any for the community, anything that I missed, and then I'll open up to questions in the stream, and this will probably be the quickest town hall we've done, because, again, there's not really anything major for this month. It's just working on kind of kicking the can down the road, because the next biggest thing is going to be just developing the Zeus program and then eventually getting back and working on the DayZ server. But everything else here is pretty minor. The only issue that we're having was stuff related to the server, but I'm getting that taken care of on Tuesday, so there's not really anything that we can do at this point, you know, like there's nothing new to evolve or whatnot, so we'll see how things go. But Spiegel, let me look at your question. For the Zeus thing, as I can't remember if it's been said, is the topic gonna be made public early, or is it still being polled? So I'm gonna take one of the poll results from either September or October and decide that is going to be the Zeus program, because that's what I did for the first rotation. The only additional poll that's going to be run for the Zeus program is going to be at the end of this month when I decide on a Zeus, and they're going to basically list out everything they want to do and then put that as a poll similar to what Charlotte did. And that's how Xenonauts was chosen. But for the topic here, I'm not running an additional poll for that because we already have that information. I just have to choose one of the top things that I think would be a fair test of everyone's skills. Because Half-Life was a good test. We kind of had a clear winner there. No offense to the people that participated in that one. But again, that's what I'm looking for here because I'm just literally looking for someone that I think can do well and show something unique. So that's that. How much help are the Zeus's allowed to have? That's a good question. It's a matter of I don't care how the sausage is made. I just want it to be good. So another thing you're noting, though, is if you get help on your one submission, I'm expecting that quality of work for the remaining 3 or 4 missions that you get for the entire rotation. So if you don't deliver, there will be individual repercussions for you. Think of this as like a job interview process and then actually getting the job. That's a good way to put it. Add-on settings, you can talk to me. I will provide those for you. It won't be on the same day you get the mod set. It'll be a day or two after. But I will provide those for you because I want everything to be on the same baseline because I don't want an op to fall apart because you forgot to put Ace Hearing on. Or something silly like that. So I'll handle that, but if you have any questions, you can ask me in the Zeus channel, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If there are no other questions, I'm going to get started on the Zeus program because I don't see any questions in my Twitch chat. I'll get this uploaded ASAP and uploaded probably at the 4 o'clock op slot on the VODs. So again, this was a fairly quick town hall. Again, kind of kicking the can down the road this month, but long term, we've got, stuff in play. But as always, what I say is, if anyone has any questions, comments, and concerns, feel free to DM me, and if it's a big enough issue, then we'll tackle it next month. But for the, 12 of you that are here locally, thank you. For everyone that's going to watch this back on the VOD or Twitch, thank you as well. And we will have Monday's operation announced. I guess that's tonight, right? Because it's supposed to be 2 days in advance when I don't drag my damn feet. So, yeah. We'll be starting a new rotation there as well. But thank you for attending, guys, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. All right, so quick one.
All right, thank you.
The only other thing we have scheduled today is going to be...
Let me click the damn thing. It's moving.
will be Revy the 31st stop in a little under 2 hours. And then we'll go once a month there, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing. But anyway, thank you so much for listening in. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.